Hello subscribers, today's review will be on these two Bashers and Biters Spinosauruses that Hasbro released for their Jurassic World toy lines. Now we all know the Hasbro Jurassic World line, ugly dinosaurs with balancing issues, cheap plastic, and poor paint jobs. For these two, one of these is actually pretty decent, the other, not so much. If you guys haven't guessed it already, the 2015 version is the worst of the two. I know the whole toy line is wasted potential, but in my opinion, this Spinosaurus is one of the biggest missed potentials. You can see the skull shape and the body proportions, aside from the unnaturally thin torso, is not that bad. If I were to see a silhouette of this, I would be like, this looks like it could be a pretty good Jurassic Park Spinosaurus toy, but unfortunately is not. Let's take a look at some of the most obvious issues. For one, the permanent dino damage, which is huge. It extends all the way down to the belly. The interior of the mouth, which is nearly completely devoid of teeth, and the existing teeth are very blunt and goofy looking. And of course, you got the Hasbro Jurassic World screw holes. When they were painting this toy, what were they thinking? These colors do not look good with each other at all. There's lime green with this brown patterning, and then all of a sudden there's this orange on the face and the sail, and of course it doesn't continue all the way down the tail, which is an issue that Mattel has with their figures. Seriously, how did these colors get approved? This has to be one of the ugliest paint job I've seen on any Jurassic Park dinosaur toy. The detailing is pretty lackluster. The best parts I can spot is the body and the tail, but that isn't saying a whole lot since it's mainly just a bunch of lines. But I will give them credit for adding these scars on the sail. They look pretty cool. So looking at the legs, the arms, the neck, and the head, it's just soft detailing. It's nothing special at all. Now let's talk about the action feature. Even though it feels cheap, I really like it. You play with the tail, then he moves his head up and down and opens its jaws. I would like to point out one thing. We all know that the figure is supposed to be in this pose, and that the cutouts on the bottom of the feet help the figure stand. Though strangely, the cutout on the left foot is underneath the heel. This shows us that the best way to get this to stand is to put it like this. That looks pretty odd. I mean, I guess it's kind of appropriate, because I can see the figure having balancing issues over time if kept in this pose. Let's move on to the Dino Hybrid Bashers and Biters Spinosaurus. You can see how the paint job makes the sculpt look a lot better, even though some of the issues like the lack of teeth, the huge dino damage, and the balancing issues are still present. When it comes to Jurassic Park toys, this has to be one of the most glorious paint jobs I have ever seen. On the top is red with some dark striping, then you've got this beautiful looking blue, and on the bottom is a shiny copper. I really like how the whole thing is glossy. It really helps this thing stand out. Of course, this is based off of the level 40 Spinosaurus from Jurassic World the game. The action feature feels smoother on this one for some reason, and the jaws open wider compared to this one. It's a shame that, even though, like I've already said, the phenomenal paint job makes the sculpt look better, it doesn't completely cover up the glaring issues like the lack of teeth and the unnecessarily large dino damage. Now let's begin our comparisons. First, let's bring in the React Attack Aqua Spinosaurus from the Jurassic Park 3 toy line, also from Hasbro. While this figure still has some proportion issues, it's still superior to these two in terms of sculpt and detailing. Here is the Basher and Biter Carnoraptor, another Dino Hybrid figure with an awesome paint job. And here is the Allosaurus Assault. Just by looking at the paint job and detailing of this Spinosaurus compared to this guy, you can see that Hasbro firing the sculptor of the Dino Showdown sets was their biggest mistake. In front of us is the Extreme Chomping Spinosaurus from Mattel, and this is just no comparison at all. Just imagine if this sculpt had this paint job. Here is the Mattel Basic Spinosaurus. Last but not least, here is the Collecte Zafactinus and the Collecte Mini Zafactinus. Well, there you have it guys. This was my review on the Hasbro Jurassic World Bashers and Biters Spinosauruses. Do I recommend you guys getting this one? I would say no. The paint job is just hideous and the sculpting issues don't help at all. But if you like the JP Spinosaurus and you like Jurassic World the game, I do recommend you guys getting this one. The paint job is absolutely gorgeous. But other than that, I would say it's best to save your money for something better. So my final ratings, a 3 out of 10 for this one, and a 6 out of 10 for that one. So if you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know in the comment section of what you think of these.